you will find some part of this country, this great nation, is experiencing extreme heat. On the other, at the same time, some part of it is snow-clad. So much of diversity. And underlying all this diversity, there is an latent, inherent sense of unity, sense of oneness. It was this sense of oneness that brought this entire country together to fight the British rule. When the freedom movement began in an organized way, there was no diversity that came in the way. People from north to south, people from Tamil Nadu to Tripura, to Kollywood, to Kanyakumari, all parts of this country, people they united in their struggle against the colonial rule. There was no boundary of a state. There was no boundary of culture. There was no boundary of language. That oneness that manifested in such an assertive manner and which kept driving the movement for such a long time that eventually our country became independent. After the British land, we started managing our affairs, day-to-day affairs, trying to build this country because they had left us hugely deprived and divided. This once a very prosperous country, this country did not know what is food scarcity until the colonial rule. There is no history of famine until the British rule, which exploited our land and the people in such a way that this country started experiencing the worst kind of famine. Food scarcity. If you look at the records of the British age, records of 1820, in this Madras presidency, and these records are available in our archive, our state archive, the British records. They tell you that our land, this land used to produce the average 7 metric ton of rice per hectare. Per hectare, 7 metric ton of rice production is a dream even in the most advanced countries in rice cultivation, Japan, even today. Today, in our Delta Belt, the optimum, the best production is coming around 6 metric ton. What happened? That this land, which was so food surplus, it became food starved. This land had plenty of industries and resources. There are records in the archives, and I would like to quote just one. In 1840, at the time, the largest iron and steel European company was a British company, Sheffield. The Sheffield sent 1,000 metric ton of iron to Madras port. They explored the market. They could not sell even 1 metric ton. And when they asked why, that the then governor of Madras Presidency replied, "Here, nobody will buy your iron." Why? Because iron is manufactured at a cottage industry here. People used to manufacture iron localized based on their needs. Weekly production of half a metric ton, 1 metric ton to meet their local needs. So, one iron is manufactured. Of course, the largest manufacturing or a smelting plant in Madras Presidency then was Ramanathapuram, which is today's Andhra Pradesh. But there were numerous. In fact, putting the three presidency records together, there were over 10 prints, Madras, Bombay and Calcutta. Three together, there were more than 10,000 smelting plants in this country, iron is making iron. So they said, people will not buy your iron. One, it is manufactured locally, that is as a cottage industry. And number two, the quality of iron manufactured in Madras Presidency is better than the quality of Sheffield. And then Sheffield sent their team of experts, engineers. They studied here for over 6 years. They took the technology and here they killed the industry. Systematically they destroyed. So they had left us highly deprived country. Not only that, they had also divided us because divide and rule was their policy to endure their empire. They had divided us in the name of race, in the name of religion, in the name of culture and community, in the name of language. All possible divisions they tried to divide the society. So when they left, at the time this country was, and not only that, they also left with more than 560 independent countries within India. Because of the princely estates, they had declared them independent. With option either to remain independent or join India or Pakistan. So imagine a country, once before the British, a prosperous country, prosperous in food, prosperous in industry, was a deprived country and divided country. And a country with more than 560 independent countries within it. What kind of India they had? It was at that point of time. And also, during their time, they had also placed restriction on the movement of people from one place to another. Earlier, our society was united. People used to move from one part of the country to another, mindful of a state and mindful of king or queens. There was no, people used to move for education, people used to move for trade, for various purposes. People used to move from one part to another. But they had placed restrictions, they had destroyed those institutions that supported the movement of people from one part to another, social institutions. So, when the British left, the question was, when we are building our nation, we are building our country, while we have to build it economically, we have to build industrially, we have to grow in science and technology, we have to have education, we have to take care of the health and all the needs of our citizens. At the same time, we also have to re-strengthen, reinforce the sense of oneness, the national spirit, of religion, language. We all are members of a faith. One Kutumba. That spirit had to be inculcated. Because nearly 200 years of colonial rule had grossly weakened that. And it was in that spirit that national service scheme was conceived. And so when we talk about to you, not to me, that whatever we do, it is the spirit of the nation. The volunteers, the youth, who are groomed, who will be the leaders tomorrow, they must grow up with that sense of oneness, that if there is a need in one part of the country, a volunteer in another part, the citizen in another part, feels the pain and likes to volunteer the service to mitigate the suffering of the people in other parts of the country. Whatever be the need, volunteering to help each other as we do help in a family. In a family, if a member of a family falls sick, or if a member of a family is in need of some assistance, it is the family that gets to it. It's the family that rushes, closes the rank, and sees that the person who needs the assistance gets the assistance which is needed. That is spirit of the faith, a spirit of the Kudumba, that is spirit has to come. And so, the National Service Scheme volunteers, they must remember, and even the organizers they must remember, coordinators must remember, their spirit of national. That is important. Services are done. Service is there inherent in everyone, especially in every Indian. It has been our tradition. This service has to be with the consciousness that we are a part of the nation, we are a part of the faith. Before the modern state, advent of the modern state, society used to take care of the needs of the people. People didn't look up to government. There was no concept of government looking up to rajas or government. They were for issues like external aggression and things like that. Essentially, every society met the need of its own as a community. The sense of community was so strong that it didn't feel the need of any external body or government. But with the advent of modern states, society, that spirit is weakened, and for each and everything we look up to government. Government must do it. No. Government should do it, and government must do it what they are supposed to do. But this, a government cannot build a nation. A government cannot build a country. Government cannot develop the economy of a country. It is the people who do it. If this institute, this present institute has come up, it is not government. Somebody, some philanthropist, some great visionary thought of building an institution. And it built this. It has been shaping the lives of thousands of our people. He must have saved several hundred thousands so far. This was not a government action. This spirit of service to the society has to be strengthened, has to be energized. And in that sense, when our volunteers were gathered here from different parts of this great country, I would urge you that the 7 days that you have here, make the best use of it. See the people, see the place, see the culture, how beautiful this place is. This place, the beauty of this place. I would also urge you, those who are from outside, pick up a few sentences of this Tamil language. It's a beautiful language, rich language, perhaps the oldest language. oldest surviving language. If you can go back with 10 or 12 sentences, memorizing it, that would be something which will be a takeover. Those of you all of you who are from different parts of this country, build a sense of kinship among yourself. Would you be creating a WhatsApp group or a social media group, digital group, so that you remain connected even after this? Otherwise, you are in different universities, you will just break away, you will start resuming your courses. No. If some of you, if as a group you are forming a digital group, and if some of you are able to maintain that close relationship, as the life grows, the power of networking. You grow, today you are young, as you grow in life, some of you, or many of you, would be holding different positions in life here and there. Remain connected. It becomes a force multiplier. It helps you in your individual life. It helps you in your collective life. So, I would urge you to build a digital community group among yourselves. And in this, I am sure some of you should be able to build a closer kinship with some others. Keep that relations of this together. You might not have met before, but you are meeting today. Let this meeting not be a meeting on a daily platform where people have come assembled for a few hours, the voters have played the left. Let this meeting be a bonding for your life. I would also urge, if some of you can develop some friendship with some local people here, local students, those who are not part of the volunteers. See, you will realize the power of God. You have to think beyond it. Otherwise, every program, every scheme gets into a bureaucratic routine. Ministry will prepare a diary, we will implement it. No. It is not just implementation of a diary in a mechanical form. The spirit has to be kept alive. And this spirit has to be appreciated duly by the organizers, by the coordinators, and all those people who are supposed to be in charge. And of course, you are all volunteers, you are university students, you are at the prime of your age, you of course, you don't necessarily read all the diaries, you can think for yourself. Friends, especially those who are from outside, as I said, this is a beautiful land, very nice people, friendly people, hospitable people. Wonderful. This place, Tamil Nadu, you must meet the people and you will realize how helpful, how friendly the people are. I tell you an illustration. I have spent quite some time in Northeast. When Northeast parents, when they send their children to study in Tamil Nadu, they don't bother them, they are very comfortable. Especially when they send their daughters. My daughter has gone to study in Chennai, nothing to worry. They don't do that in some other parts of the country. That's the nature of, that's the kind of people that we are. Meet them, feed them. Develop that bonding with someone. And go back with not only pleasant, happy memories, but something to build it up. Correspond on the days of festival. When Pongal happens, you correspond. When you are lecturers or lecture state you are, your festival, you correspond. That bonding should be. And that is the spirit of NSS. I wish all of you the very best. And I wish once again this institute all the glory in future and a very pleasant, successful friends, Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for the scintillating speech. You took us down the lane of Indian history and culture, especially Tamil culture and language. It helped us to revisit our rich past and evoke our minds to restore a rich future through our contribution to the nation. Thank you once again.
Thank you is not just a word, but it is the emotion that wells up from within our hearts. May I now call upon the respected Registrar of B.S. Abdul Rahman, Crescent Institute of Science and Technology, Dr. N. Raja Hussain, a humble and dynamic person who leads and participates with active enthusiasm in all the events, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Very good morning to all. Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, Honorable Chancellor of B.S. Abdul Rahman Crescent Institute of Science and Technology, distinguished representatives of NSS, organizing coordinators of this national legation camp, NSS volunteers from various parts of the nation, faculty members, members of the press and media, and it is my pleasant duty to offer word of thanks. On behalf of the management of B.S. Abdul Rahman Crescent Institute of Science and Technology and National Service Scheme of the Government of India, I express my sincere gratitude to His Excellency, the Governor of Tamil Nadu, through R.M. Ravi, for having spared his valuable time with us and delivered an energizing speech. So, you have inspired us with your address, and we look forward to your guidance and further inspiration. Thank you very much, sir. I take this opportunity to express my sincere thanks to the Honorable Chancellor of B.S. Abdul Rahman Crescent Institute of Science and Technology, Mr. B.S.A. Rahman, for his great support for all the activities undertaken by us in our institution. It is his vision for the institution that motivates us to engage in various community building activities. Thank you very much, sir. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to the Honorable Vice Chancellor of this institution, Dr. T. Burgeshan, for his constant motivation and guidance. His timely advice and directions help us in moving forward with the confidence. Thank you very much, sir. My sincere thanks to Mr. S. Sairam, Camp Director and Regional Director of NSS, Government of India, for his continuous support. Thank you very much, sir, for your presence also. My earnest thanks to our Senthil Kumar, State NSS Officer, for his continuous support. Thank you very much, sir. My sincere thanks to our District Collector, through Rahulnath IAS, for his valuable presence. Thank you very much, sir. My earnest thanks to Dr. Irfan Dawood, NSS Coordinator and Organizing Secretary, for his tremendous efforts in organizing this event. Thank you. My sincere thanks to the organizing committee members for their support, and the conveners and members of various committees and student volunteers for their tireless efforts in making things happen in a grand way. Thank you very much. I extend my thanks to the NSS volunteers who have gathered here for the National Generation Camp for being with us today. I wish that you gain remarkable experience and make wonderful memories as you join as a present for this camp. Thank you very much for all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your sincere words of gratitude. Kindly rise for the rendering of the national anthem.
comes a moment for cultural events. I request the distinguished dignitaries to take your seats off the stage. We have the cultural events that reflect national integrity.
Bharatanatyam. It is a traditional dance of Tamil Nadu. It's a classical dance, offers a range of physical and mental benefits. It is a temple dance for women to express interreligious stories and devotions. So here, we call upon our students
Vighosita
India believes in peace and harmony. India lives by national integration. Here we have the showcase of our different Indian cultures together on the stage. Thank you.
It was really splendid performance. Thank you, dear participants.
Now we'll have a group photo session. I request the NIC student participants to go to the front of the auditorium for a group photo with the Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu. Others, kindly stay back in the auditorium. Please do not leave your seats. Only the NIC student participants, please go to the front of the auditorium for the photo session. Others, kindly remain in your seats. Thank you.
ஆடியோ வரல சொல்லுறேன் நல்லா நல்லா தரல ஆடியோ சரி தரல வெறும் ஆடியோ மட்டும் சேர்க்க முடியாதா? கூட ஓகே தான் ப்ளே பண்ணிடுங்க. சேனல் இதுவாகிடுச்சு. கேமரா 2 சேனல் ஒன்று தான் நம்ம வேற ஒன்றும் இல்லை. அவனை எடுத்து ஃபோட்டோ ஷூட் எடுத்துருக்காங்க. சூர்யா லைஃபை கட் பண்ணதா?
performance programs.
An IC. I request you all to rise for the national anthem, followed by Tamil Nadu.
Respected Chancellor of B.S. Abdul Rahman President Institute of Science and Technology, Thiru B.S.A. Ali Buhari Rahmanji, Vice Chancellor of this Institute, Dr. T. Murugesan, Registrar, Dr. M. Raja Hussain, NSS Coordinator and Organizing Secretary, Dr. Ayub Khan Dawood, NSS officials, all the dignitaries present here, NSS volunteers, friends from the media, I extend my warmest greetings and best wishes to all of you on this occasion of inauguration of 7 days integration camp, National Integration Camp of NSS. This is my new heights of glory year by year. To be at such an institute which is shaping the future of our country by shaping the youth of today who are the leaders of tomorrow, leaders in every respect, wherever they are. Such youth who are being shaped, being chiseled, who come out of this institute, they are great assets to our country. And it's only appropriate that such an institute hosts the National Integration Camp of NSS. I am told the volunteers are from all parts of the country, from the north, of course, to south, from east to west. This 250 odd volunteers, those of you who are present here, and especially those of you who are coming from other parts of the country, in the next 7 days, you will have an exciting experience. Experience the every moment of it. Enjoy the every moment of it. Internalize every bit of it. The days, 7 days is not a long period in one's life. It depends how much you are able to absorb. Not necessarily the programs which have been chalked out, of course, that will give you the lead, but with your own individual interest and initiative. You know, this National Integration Camp, or the very concept of NSS, National Service Scheme, The services scheme, it is qualified by the Executive National. We know that our country is hugely diverse. In fact, I am not aware if any other country in the world can boast of or can be proud of so much of diversity that our country has. You have mind-boggling variations in language, in dress, in culture, cuisine, and of course in geography. At any point of time, you will find some part of this country, this great nation, is experiencing extreme heat. On the other, at the same time, some part of it is snow-clad. So much of diversity. And underlying all this diversity, there is an inherent, latent, inherent sense of unity, sense of oneness. It was this sense of oneness that brought this entire country together to fight the British rule. When the freedom movement began in an organized way, there was no diversity that came in the way. People from north to south, people from Tamil Nadu to Tripura to Kamaru to Kanyakumari, all parts of this country, people they united in their struggle against the colonial rule. There was no boundary of a state. There was no boundary of culture. There was no boundary of language. That oneness that manifested in such an assertive manner and which kept driving the movement for such a long time that eventually our country became independent. After the British left, we started managing our affairs, day-to-day affairs, trying to build this country because they had left us hugely deprived and divided. This once very prosperous country, this country did not know what is food scarcity until the colonial rule. There is no history of famine until the British rule, which exploited our land and the people in such a way that this country started experiencing the worst kind of famine. Food scarcity. If you look at the records of the British age, records of 1820, in this Madras presidency, and these records are available in our archive, our state archive, the British records. They tell you that our land, this land used to produce the average 7 metric ton of rice per hectare. Per hectare 7 metric ton of rice production is a dream even in the most advanced countries in rice cultivation, Japan, even today. Today in our Delta Belt, the optimum, the best production is coming around 6 metric tons. What happened? That this land, which was so food surplus, it became food starved. This land had plenty of industries and resources. There are records in the archives, and I would like to quote just one. In 1840, at the time, the largest iron and steel European company was a British company, Sheffield. The Sheffield sent 1,000 metric ton of iron to Madras port. They explored the market. They could not sell even 1 metric ton. And when they asked why, the then governor of Madras Presidency replied, "Here, nobody will buy your iron." Why? Because iron is manufactured as a cottage industry here. People used to manufacture iron localized based on their needs. Weekly production of half a metric ton, 1 metric ton to meet their local needs. So, one, iron is manufactured. Of course, the largest manufacturing or a smelting plant in Madras Presidency then was Ramnathpuram, which is today's Andhra Pradesh. But there were numerous. In fact, putting the 3 presidency records together, there were over 10 mills, Madras, Bombay and Calcutta. 3 together, there were more than 10,000 smelting plants in this country. Iron is making iron. So they said, people will not buy your iron. One, it is manufactured locally, that is as a cottage industry. And number 2, the quality of iron manufactured in Madras Presidency is better than the quality of Sheffield. And then Sheffield sent their team of experts, engineers. They studied here for over 6 years. They took the technology and here they killed the industry. Systematically they destroyed. So they had left us highly deprived country. Not only that, they had also divided us because divide and rule was their policy to endure their empire. They had divided us in the name of race, in the name of religion, in the name of culture and community, in the name of languages. All possible divisions they tried to divide the society. So when they left, at the time this country was, and not only that, they also left with more than 560 independent countries within India. Because of the princely estates, they had declared them independent, with option either to remain independent or join India or Pakistan. So imagine a country once before the British, a prosperous country, prosperous in food, prosperous in industry, was a deprived country and divided country. And a country with more than 560 independent countries within India. What kind of India they had left? It was at that point of time, and also during their time, they had also placed restriction on the movement of people from one place to another. Earlier, our society was united. People used to move from one part of the country to another, mindful of a state and mindful of king or queens. There was no, people used to move for education, people used to move for trade, For various purposes, people used to move from one part to another. But they had placed restrictions, they had destroyed these institutions that supported the movement of people from one part to another, social institutions. So, when the British left, the question was, when we are building our nation, we are building our country, while we have to build it economically, we have to build industrially, we have to grow in science and technology, we have to have adequate education, we have to take care of the health and all the needs of our citizens. At the same time, we also have to re-strengthen, reinforce the sense of oneness. The national spirit. We are a part of a family. Irrespective of region, religion, language, we all are members of a family. One kutumbam. That spirit had to be inculcated. Because nearly 200 years of colonial rule had grossly weakened that. And it was in that spirit that national service scheme was conceived. And so when we talk about to you, not to me, that whatever you do, it is the spirit of the nation. The volunteers, the youth, who are groomed, who will be the leaders tomorrow, they must grow up with that sense of oneness, that if there is a need in one part of the country, a volunteer in another part, the citizen in another part, feels the pain and likes to volunteer the service to mitigate the suffering of the people in other parts of the country. Whatever be the need, volunteering to help each other as we do help in a family. In a family, if a member of a family falls sick, or if a member of a family is in need of some assistance, it is the family that gets together. It's the family that rushes, closes their hand, and sees that the person who needs the assistance gets the assistance which is needed. That spirit of a family, a spirit of a kudumba, that spirit has to come. And so, the National Service Scheme volunteers, they must remember, and even the organizers they must remember, the coordinators must remember, the spirit of national. That is important. Services are done. Services are inherent in everyone, especially in every Indian. It has been our tradition. This service has to be with a consciousness that we are a part of a nation, we are a part of a faith. Before the modern state, advent of the modern state, society used to take care of the need of the people. People didn't look up to government. There was no concept of government looking up to Rajas or government. They were for issues like external aggression and things like that. Essentially, every society met the need of its own. As a family, as a community. The sense of community was so strong that it didn't feel the need of any external body called government. But with the advent of modern state, society, that spirit is weakened, and for each and everything we look up to government. Government must do it. No. Government should do it and government must do it what they are supposed to do. But a government cannot build a nation. A government cannot build a country. Government cannot develop the economy of a country. It is the people who have to do it. If this institute, this precious institute has come up, it is not government. Somebody, some philanthropist, some great visionary thought of building an institution. And it built the institution. It has been shaping the lives of thousands of our people. We must have saved several hundred thousands so far. This was not a government initiative. This spirit of service to the society has to be strengthened, has to be energized. And in that sense, when our volunteers were gathered here from different parts of this great country, I would urge you that the 7 days that you have here, make the best use of it. See the people, see the place, see the culture, how beautiful this place is. This place, the beauty of this place. I would also urge you, those who are from outside, pick up a few sentences of this Tamil language. It's a beautiful language, rich language, perhaps the oldest language, oldest surviving language. If you can go back with 10 or 12 sentences, memorizing it, that would be something which will be a takeaway. Those of you all of you who are come from different parts of this country, build a sense of kinship among yourself. Would you be creating a WhatsApp group or a social media group, digital group, so that you remain connected even after this? Otherwise, you are from different universities, you will just break away, you will start resuming your courses. No. If some of you, if as a group you are forming a digital group, and if some of you are able to maintain that close relationship, as the life grows, the power of networking. You grow, today you are young, as you grow in life, some of you, or many of you, will be holding different positions in life here and there. Remain connected. It becomes a force multiplier. It helps you in your individual life. It helps you in your collective life. So, I would urge you to build a digital community group among yourself. And in this, I am sure some of you should be able to build a closer kinship with some others. Keep that relations of this together. You might not have met before, but you are meeting today. Let this meeting not be a meeting on a railway platform where people have come assembled for a few hours to board the train and left. Let this meeting be a bonding for your life. I would also urge, if some of you can develop some friendship with some local people here, local students, those who are not part of the volunteers, see, you will realize the power of bonding. You have to think beyond it. Otherwise, every program, every scheme gets into a bureaucratic routine. Ministry will prepare a diary, we will implement it. It is not just implementation of a diary in a mechanical form. The spirit has to be kept alive. And this spirit has to be appreciated duly by the organizers, by the coordinators, and all those people, those who are supposed to be in charge of it. And of course, you are all volunteers, you are university students, you are at the prime of your age, you of course, you don't necessarily need all the guidance, you can think for yourself. Friends, especially those who are from outside, as I said, this is a beautiful land, very nice people, friendly people, hospitable people. Wonderful. This place, Tamil Nadu, you will meet the people and you will realize how helpful, how friendly the people are. I tell you an illustration. I have spent quite some time in Northeast. When Northeast parents, when they send their children to study in Tamil Nadu, they don't bother, they are very comfortable, especially when they send their girls. daughters. My daughter has gone to study in Chennai, nothing to worry. They don't feel that in some other parts of the country. That's the nature of, that's the kind of people that we are. Meet them, feed, develop their bonding with someone, and go back with not only pleasant, happy memories, but something to build it up. Correspond on the days of festival. When Pongal happens, you correspond. When you are that journalist or that state you are, your festival, you correspond with that bonding should, and that is the spirit of NSS. I wish all of you the very best, and I wish once again this institute all the glory in future. Can, if I use the word can. All the very best. My friends, Jai Hind, Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for the scintillating speech. You took us down the lane of Indian history and culture, especially Tamil culture.